Welcome. This is week 4 of our 6-week beginner series. We're going to get going right away by laying on the back. If that's okay for you, you have the options to keep your legs long down the mat, take your feet to those far corner edges, or if it feels better for your back at any time, you can bend up your knees and place your foot soles on your mat. Okay, so slowly, carefully rolling on down, deciding on your leg position. And arms can open up away from the body in that A-frame position where the palms face the ceiling. And pull those arms away from the body as much as it's comfortable for you. And if you need to change the palm position, maybe palms down or palms facing your thighs more like is more comfortable for you, that's okay. You can do that as well. And then find some length in the back of the neck. Guide your chin down towards your heart center. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to gently flutter your eyes closed here. Really land on your mat. So feeling the back body as it lays on the mat, feeling the effects of gravity holding you there. Notice sounds around you. So maybe first of all, outside your space, maybe outside your house. Are there noises out in the street or in your yard? Bringing that in a little closer, noticing any sounds in your home or wherever you should be practicing, in the space around you. And then putting on little tiny microphones and placing those inside your ears. Can you notice any sounds inside? Maybe sounds of digestion, the sounds of your breath. Again, bringing that awareness back to feeling the points of contact where your body's making contact either with the floor or the mat. So feeling either your heels or the bottoms of your feet on your mat. If you still had socks on, feeling that. And moving up, if your legs are extended, feeling your calves resting on your mat. Again, if your legs are extended, you may or may not feel the hamstrings. So that's the back of the upper leg on your mat. Some of us, your hamstrings are really short. You may be feeling that they're not making that contact with your mat, that they in fact feel like they're lifted off the mat. So either way, bringing awareness into your hamstrings. And feeling your seat as it rests here on the mat. And even if you can, maybe soften your seat a little more. Moving up, feeling the mid-back as it rests on your mat. Maybe feeling the upper back on the mat as well. Shoulder blades, the backs of the shoulders. Moving down your arms, feeling the upper arms as they're resting the mat or maybe the floor here.
The forearms, the lower parts of the arms. Noticing how that feels. And the backs of your hands, or maybe it's your palms or the sides of your hands. Feeling the floor or the mat beneath your hands. And lastly, feeling the back of your head as it rests on your mat. And let the back of your head be heavy. Sink into your mat. Noticing the feeling of your clothes against your skin. Maybe feeling your belly as it breathes up into your shirt. And feeling the belly fall away. And do your clothes feel soft? And do they feel warm? Maybe you have a piece of clothing on that's not your favorite. Doesn't feel quite as nice as other parts. And noticing the air on your skin, the air around you. Does it feel warm or cool? Parts of you that feel warm and other parts that feel a little cooler. And are there any scents in the air? Maybe you smell your own soap or perfumes. Or maybe there's smells in your home, maybe lingering smells from the kitchen. Or maybe you don't smell anything. Begin to move the body, starting with small movements first. You wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And turn those into bigger movements, circling the wrists and the ankles. Changing the directions of your circles. If it's reasonable in your neck, you can gently rock your head side to side. Bringing the head back to center. I'm going to invite everybody to bend up their knees, place the foot soles on the mats if you're not already in that position. On an exhale, let your knees fall out to the sides and bring the bottoms of your feet to touch for Baddha Konasana or bound angle. You can keep your hands resting out beside you, or if you'd like to place them on your belly here, feel your breath. then think about what side you'd like to roll onto, and we'll draw that knee over and go ahead and roll onto that side and cradle your head in your arm as you rest here for a couple of breaths. We're going to eventually make our way up to our seat. As you use that top hand, or maybe it's both your arms, push your way up to your seat. Come into Sukhasana, easy pose, or some variation. So that would be cross-legged, but this doesn't work for everybody. So know that you can stretch out one leg in front of the other, or maybe you need to stretch out one leg all the way out. Find what's comfortable for you. And then sit up nice and tall. Feel both your sit bones rooting down on your mat. Palms are going to rest on your lap, face down. Our breathing practice. This is a really nice, relaxing, mindful breathing practice. Whatever hand you'd like to start with, we're going to inhale, bring one palm up. Exhale, take that hand to the opposite shoulder and look away from that hand in the opposite direction. And inhale, bring the gaze and the palm back to center. Exhale, palm comes back down to rest on the lap. And then we start that with the other hand. Inhale, palm comes up. Exhale, take it to the shoulder, look away. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, return the palm down. So you get the idea, we're going to alternate side to side. But you can add the head here. If you're comfortable, tuck the chin towards the heart. As you inhale, you bring your palm up, the gaze will come up as well. Exhale, that hand is going to the opposite shoulder. We look away. Inhale, return to center. And as you exhale, bring the palm down, the chin tucks down towards the heart as well. Off to the other side. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes here. Linking breath with movement. It keeps your attention here. So it's a mindful exercise. I'm going to do one more on each side. And pause for a couple breaths with the chin tucked towards heart center, hands resting on the lap. Couple breaths here. Good, we'll bring the gaze back up and gently flutter the eyes open if you've closed them. And the other benefit of that one is we also get a little bit of neck movement in. So we're gonna do a couple more things for the neck, but we already eliminated a couple movements. So we're gonna tip one ear to one shoulder, come back through center, tip the ear to the other shoulder. Get the movement, get the feel. Then we can add the breath. So we inhale as we're up and center, exhale as the ear comes to one shoulder. I think a lot of us hold tension in the neck and the shoulder, so neck and shoulder movements, really important, helpful, feels good. Do one more each side. Good. Coming back up to center for some chin smiles. So tuck the chin towards the heart, and then exhale, roll your head over towards one shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, rolling the other way. You can have your eyes closed in this movement. We see better sometimes with our eyes closed. Gonna do over to one more shoulder. Back to center and return the head back up. And if you have been in a cross-legged or one leg in front of the other, we'll switch that cross for some shoulder movements. We'll bring the hands up to the shoulders. Small circles going forward first. Good. Small to start, then gradually you can make those shoulders bigger and bigger, the shoulder rolls. Good. And don't drop the elbows way down here. Keep the shoulders lifted. If you get full range of motion, your elbows might kiss out in front. Really feel your shoulder blades pinching together in the back. Good. Neck and shoulder closely related, next door neighbors. You can move one, you can move the other. Get one more roll this direction. Nice, return back to center, and then we'll make those circles going backwards this time, starting small, maybe getting bigger and bigger. And you know that if you have some issue, there's discomfort, you can leave something out of the practice. We're never doing anything for so long that you're going to be missing out for too long. Again, if your shoulder rolls get really big, maybe your elbows can touch in front. Feel your shoulder blades pinching in the back. Nice. I think any time of day, these movements can feel good. All right, let's release that. Stretch your legs out. We're gonna come into Dandasana, staff pose. Legs are straight out in front of you, about hip width distance apart. And then activate the legs. So pull the toes back towards your face so the leg muscles are turned on. Hands can sit beside you on your mat, sitting up nice and tall. Spine is nice and tall, chin parallel with the floor, looking straight ahead, or if it's okay for you, you want to gently flutter your eyes closed, you can. Again, you can see better sometimes when our eyes are closed. I close the eyes, I can feel everything that's working. I know we're simply sitting up, and you've probably been sitting for many decades, but do you actually make it a little bit more engaged with the muscles? Do you think about all the work that's going on? You've forgotten how hard it is to sit up. If you've seen a baby learning to sit up, it is a lot of work. Good, if you close the eyes, you can gently flutter those open. Relax the leg muscles a little bit, and we're going to take the feet over to one side, over to the other side. So some wipers, not just the feet, so the whole leg as much as you can. Feel like it's rotating. Good. Wipering side to side. Good, and you might need a little bit more room for this. Widen the legs out a little bit. I'm going to turn the feet in, and then turn the feet out. Good. And try to get the feet as close to the floor as you can in those movements. Maybe it's not very far for some of us. Others maybe are very flexible there. It's very easy. We're all different. Good. Back to center. And now we're going to point and flex the toes. So point those toes away. Pull the toes back towards your face. And feeling the calves. And you'll feel that all the way to the front. The calf muscles, they wrap around towards the shin bone. So you feel it at the front of your shins here too, not just the back of the lower legs. Okay, so we're moving both feet together. Now we'll do opposite. So on one foot, point the toes away. Other foot, pull them back towards your face. And then flip flop. Good. Simple movements. They feel oh so good. Sometimes the small things are the big things. Good. Okay, we'll let that go. You're going to bend up your right knee. And then let that knee fall out to the side. Wriggle the bottom of your right foot somewhere to the inside of your left leg. The left leg is the one that's extended. Activate that. So pull the toes back towards your face. Leg muscles are working here. Take your hands onto that leg and walk down. When you feel like your back's beginning to round, you're overreaching, encouraging you to back it up a little bit and stay there. Somewhere where your back is straight and your head is in line with your back. So maybe we don't have very far to go. Maybe we have nowhere to go. I'm going to do an alternate leg stretch. Lots of places you might feel this. Back of the leg, insides of the legs, the back itself. Nice. One more breath here.
we'll walk those hands back up and draw that right knee up. You can use your hands if you need to, and then stretch that right leg out. Maybe give those legs a bit of a shake between sides. We'll do this on the other side. Bending up your left knee, let that knee fall out to the side. Wriggle the bottom of that left foot somewhere the inside of your right leg. Okay, right leg is nice and active. It's working. We'll pull those toes back. You can actually even take a poke at your right thigh. It should feel kind of hard. Your muscles working there. And then continue with those fingers down the leg, a little or a lot. Back is straight. So often we think, well, we're supposed to reach the foot. That's the pose. But not necessarily. If your back is rounding, you're overreaching. We actually want the back straight, so the muscles along the back are working and they're supporting us, so we're safe. As long as you're feeling it, and maybe you don't even feel it, but it's happening. There's a stretch happening in the body. Maybe some of us don't feel it. But the pose is not what it looks like, but what it feels like. So you have to listen to your body and only go to the point that you need. And everybody's different. This one's feeling so good today. All right, we'll walk those hands back up. Draw that left leg up. Stretch it out. Hip width distance apart with those legs. Turn on both those leg muscles again, or all the leg muscles in both your legs. Hands beside you. Okay, sitting up nice and tall. Then tuck the chin towards the heart. On an exhale, lean forward. So we're coming into a full forward fold. Now, permission to keep your hands where they are beside you, or if it feels okay for you, you want to bring them forward onto the legs. Maybe it's the feet, as long as the back and the head can stay nice straight line together. The stretches feel good, but it feels good to do something good for yourself. Taking care of yourself. Nice, and then we'll sit up, back nice and tall. Bend up both the knees, place your foot soles on the mat. That was fun to stretch, right? Now we're gonna work. So, boat pose, Navasana, hands behind your legs, sit up nice and tall. Let's test the waters first, okay? So bring one heel off the floor, put it down, switch to the other side. So we're doing some alternating heel tap downs. Okay, remember you feel a little engagement happening in the muscles and stomach here. Now, if you like, you can continue with the alternating, or if you're feeling okay with it, you can lift both those feet off the mat and hold. Holding the shape and not holding the breath, make sure you keep breathing. Really comfortable here. You can let go of those legs and reach the arms forward. Good job. On an exhale, we're going to come into bound angle or Baddha Konasana. Remember, we did this on our backs. So the knees are falling out to the sides, bottoms of the feet touch. First variation, we will just sit up nice and tall. So you can hold your shins or hands can be beside you again on the mat. Good. There's a little break, a little reprieve, because we're going to do boat pose. Again, draw those knees together, hands behind your thighs. You have 3 variations, right? If you want to do the alternating heel tap down, if you want to hold both the feet, if you feel comfortable and you want to let go of the arms. So choose your version of boat pose here. Sit up nice and tall, so we're not collapsing in that low back area. Nice. Keeping the gaze on the horizon or a little bit higher. Good. Exhale, come into that Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose again, nice and tall. Without causing a lot of stress on the spine, just going to exhale, look over towards your left. We're coming into a little bit of a twist. Hands can rest on your legs somewhere. Good. Inhale through center, exhale, turning towards the other side. This is maybe not a full twist in some of our other positions, but more of a turning to the side. Spine is getting a nice twist though, I can feel it. Good, inhale back to center. Option to stay up nice and tall, that previous version we did, or if you would like, tuck the chin towards the heart and lean forward, coming into a bit of a fold, or maybe it's a lot of a fold for you. Good,
come on up, draw those knees together, circle the feet around, swing those feet around. We're coming to child's pose. First one, I think it'd be nice to go wide knee child's pose. From tabletop, take your knees as wide as your mat, let your big toes touch. Push the seat back towards your heels and then walk the hands forward. If your forehead comes to the mat comfortably, and if it's okay for you, bring your forehead to the mat. Otherwise, you can stack your fists and rest your forehead on your stacked fist. You might not have to hold the neck, holding the head up, hurt the neck or anything. So we're releasing the forehead onto something, either the mat or your stacked fists. Good. If the stacked fists are underneath the forehead, let's extend those arms out in front. We're going to come into a side stretch. So walking both your arms over towards the left. Then I stretch along the right side of the body, fill up that right lung. You want a little bit more here, you might stack your right hand on top of the left. That can feel like a deeper stretch along the right side body. Bring that right hand off if you've stacked it. Walk the hands through center over towards your right. Fill up that left lung. Maybe place the left hand on top of the right hand. Bring that left hand off. Walk them through center one more time. In our extended child's pose, if you like, you can bring your knees together or keep your knees wide. Totally up to you. We'll walk the hands forward into a Mecca variation of child's pose. And then we will come up to tabletop position, hands in the knees. And don't worry about the placement too much because we're going to do bird dog, which is a balancing pose. Our limbs are going to be moving, okay? First, let's extend the right arm straight out in front. Okay, so you're feeling, oh, well, my core has to work a little bit to stabilize. Now I've got one limb off. And then a 3-point here. Maybe feeling some work happening in that left arm. Good, put the right hand down. Extend the left leg straight back behind you, no higher than hip height. Pull those toes to point down towards your mat. A little different feeling. Good, put that left knee down, and then if you like, you can put those two together, or you can do one of those variations we just did, because it'll be just the arm, just the leg, or both the arm and the leg. So take the right arm straight up front, and then extend the left leg behind. So it's opposite arm to leg. Neck is neutral, so look at the top of your mat. Good job. Place the hand and the knee down. Push back child's pose. You have a couple of variations already in your back pocket. If you would like traditional balasana, the knees together, the hands actually reach back towards the feet. Good, come back up to that tabletop and we'll play with that bird dog on the other side. Right, so first, extend the left arm straight up in front. Feel as the body adjusts. So you don't have to do crunches to work your abdominal muscles. Put that left hand down, extend the right leg straight back behind you, no higher than hip height. Pull those toes down to face the mat. Good, place that knee down and then decide if you want to do those variations again or if you want to put those together. Left arm, right leg, reaching away from each other. And one side might be a different story than the other. Nice, put that hand and knee back down. Curl the toes under. So you walk your hands back towards your knees. We're going to come up to standing if this is an okay way for you to come up. Otherwise, come up in your own way. We will meet eventually at the top of the mat. Okay, coming to the top of your mat. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Have a look at where your feet landed. We want them about 1.5 feet distance apart. All your toes point forward and line up the outside edge of your feet with the outside edge of your mat. So most common is that we have one or more with both feet turned out slightly. You can do that adjustment all day long. If you're standing in line waiting to pay for something, you're standing talking to somebody, you can adjust those feet. Make that adjustment for yourself all the time. And you might feel that work happening in your hips. Okay, soften the knees a little bit, shoulders, give them a few of those up, back, and down. Finishing, hopefully, with the palms facing away for you, if that works for you. If you need to do a different arm position, that's okay. Draw the shoulders down, away from your ears, back the ears up over those shoulders, and finding a point on the horizon to look at. Or if it's okay for you, maybe gently flutter your eyes closed. We're going to bring our Ujjayi breath into our practice. We've been working on, if you close your eyes, you can gently flutter them open. Okay, if you can, do it right away with your lips closed. If you still need to keep your mouth open and imagine your mirror there, you can. So let's fog the mirror first. And then defog the mirror in that inhale. Feel the weight rooted through both the bottoms of your foot soles, evenly distributed. Good. Next inhale, we'll begin our half sun salutation. Inhale, salute. Exhale, hands float down from heart center and fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Nice flat back, crown of the head reaching forward. Exhale, refold. Inhale to bring you back up to top. Exhale, hands float down to front of heart center. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, salute, using your Ujjayi breath. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, back up. Exhale, returning to where we started, hands in front of heart center. Good, third time. Inhale, salute. Exhale, fold. We're going to add in at the end here, okay? Inhale, lift. Exhale, refold. I need you to get your hands to the mat. Stay there. So if you need to bend your knees to plant your hands down, bend your knees. And then step back with one leg, step back with the other leg, and drop your knees down to the mat. So we're in a modified plank. I snuck that in there, so I'll give you time to get here. In our modified plank, so it's not tabletop position where the hips are over the knees. We want the hips ahead of our knees. Push that floor away. You're super strong in your arms here. Of course, planks are always done for the core muscles too. Holding that, using your Ujjayi breath here. Next, exhale, we're going to lower down to the belly through Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. Inhale up to little baby cobra. So push up, bit of a back bend, not pushing all the way up. Good. Exhale, come back down. You bring your arms alongside your body. Turn your gaze in one direction. We're going to take a rest here. Good. Bring your chin back forward. Locust pose. We lift up as much off the mat and the floor as you can. Arms, legs, chest. If you need to leave your legs down, if there's discomfort in the low back, leave them down. But we're in a version of locust pose. Neck is nice and long. Good. Good. Exhale, bring those arms back down alongside you and turn your cheek in the opposite direction from where you rested the last time. So we're going to even out the neck stretch. Good. One more time, that locust. All right. When you're ready, bring the head back forward. Inhale, lift, 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 lift. You're flying. Good, bring the legs back down, bring the hands underneath your shoulders, curl your back toes under, push up back to our tabletop position, and then we're going to lift up high into downward facing dog. Lift that seat up, you can keep some bend in your knees, you push one heel down towards your mat, so walking the dog, push the other heel down, and the heels never have to touch the mat, don't worry about that. Get some length in the calf and the Achilles, spine is lengthening. And we are coming up to standing, so this is a little transition to standing as well. We won't be here forever. Good. Both knees bent. Walk your hands and feet towards each other. Hands onto the thighs, and then slowly restack the spine, coming up to standing again. Okay. Back of the mat this time. Take a really generous step forward with your left leg, coming into a warrior one, a Virabhadrasana one. Root down through both feet. Both your feet are landed down. Front toes, the left toes are pointing forward. The back foot is turned in, probably about a 30-degree angle, 40-degree angle, what have you. Hands on your hips. Let's take a bend into that front knee, and then see if you can bring your right hip forward a little bit more. So we can square the hips, the pelvis. Beautiful. And then you can keep your hands on your hips, or if you want to inhale those arms up, the palms face each other. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, finding that spot on the horizon to look at. Good. Strong warriors. Fingers are reaching towards the ceiling, but at the same time the shoulders are staying down away from the ears. They're active arms. They're not just kind of flopped out, hanging out there. Feel like your legs are pulling in towards one another. So we're scissoring the legs in, activating the inner thighs. They're working. Good. I'm going to challenge you with our balance today. Our balancing pose is going to be Virabhadrasana 3 or Warrior 3. So with that weight in the front leg, and there's a bend into that knee, start to shift torso over that front leg and see if you can lift the back leg off the mat. And maybe the toes are staying a little closer to the mat, and you're kind of testing the waters, or maybe the leg is a little more lifted. And now I recommend you find a spot ahead of you on the floor to look at, keeping the neck nice and neutral. Good job. Okay, drop that back foot down, catch your hips straight, that front leg, turn all your toes to face the long end of your mat. Your wide-legged straddle position, and come into a forward fold. Tuck the chin towards the heart, exhale, lean forward. Now, here's your forward fold, here's your first option. Let's go to halfway, a nice flat back. I'm feeling this. Others say, I'm pretty good here, I can come a little further. You can fold deeper, maybe release your hands to the legs or even to the mat. Well done. All right, catch the hips, soften the knees a little bit, long back, reach for it, come back up to top. Keep that position, we'll do side bend here. Just inhale the right arm up, drop the shoulder away from the ear, and then exhale, tip to your left. Good, really reaching those right fingertips to that wall over there, or whatever is over there. Gazing straight ahead. Good job, working so well. Okay, back up to top, catch that right hip, inhale, left arm up, drop the shoulder away from the ear, exhale, bend to your right. Reaching that left arm. Feeling that energetic line all the way down, the left fingertips all the way down to that left foot. Good. Inhale, come back up, hand will catch the hip, and either jump or step your feet together, make your way to the back of your mat again. We're going to do that on the second side. Generous step forward with the right foot. Okay, root down through both feet. I want you to feel the bottoms of your foot soles connecting to your mat. Bend into that front knee. And then, if you can, bring your left hip a little bit more forward. So you feel like your hips are a little square.
or maybe not quite, right? But as far as you can. You keep your hands on your hips or inhale those arms up. Drop the shoulders down away from your ears. Finding that spot on the horizon has your attention. Warriors. Warrior one. Virabhadrasana 1. Feel like your legs, your inner legs are kind of pulling towards one another. Nice and active. Okay, that balance is coming, so start to shift your weight forward and pick up that back leg, little or a lot. And your balance again might be different on this side. Drop that back foot down, catch your hips, pivot all your toes to face the long end of your mat, and maybe you're facing the other direction. That's okay. We're just going to do the same thing as we did before, that fold. So tuck the chin towards the heart, exhale, fold forward. Staying halfway, maybe a little further. Second time of this, maybe it's further than you were the first time. Good, one more breath here, and then we're going to come all the way down to the mat, returning to our backs where we started. Good, so you can take a lot of bend in those knees, walk the hands out, drop one knee down, the other, and then recurve onto your back carefully. Bridge pose, then we'll do contract and release and relax. We've been working this bridge for some time, but it is a great backside builder. It's a back bend as well, it's an inversion, it's got it all. Legs are hip width distance apart. You might have to lift up and see if that's actually what's happening. And knees are stacked over the ankles, arms alongside the body. You can keep your palms touching to the mat, or if you like that, maybe it was the first variation that we did, I can't remember, but you can grab the sides of your mat and feel like you're pulling your mat away. That's also nice, good support. Okay, good. Exhale, start to tip or lift your seat and your spine up off the mat. Push those hips up to the ceiling. We're going to move with the breath first, and then exhale, reverse that, gently laying the spine down, vertebra by vertebra. Seat touches down. There's a little pause there, and then begin again. Inhale, lift. Seat is turned on here. Exhale, lower. We're starting with this moving, breathing, dynamic one. You can see how that feels. And maybe you want to stay here because we're going to offer that hold here right away. Okay. Next time you lift up, option to hold or keep moving with your breath. Okay. If you're holding especially, make sure your knees don't flare out to the sides or keeping them stacked over the ankles. Keep lifting as high as you can here. The chest is coming towards the chin. You can be looking down the breastbone here. There's length in the back of the neck. And feel all the weight, the bottoms of both your feet, not all your weight, but feeling that evenly distributed, the weight that's in the bottom of your feet. Good, on an exhale, gently lay that spine down, vertebra by vertebra. When your seat touches back down to the mat, go ahead, hug your knees into the chest. You might like to rock side to side or circle the knees. You're circling the knees, changing the direction. Okay, and you can prepare for final relaxation, contract and release exercise. If it's okay for you, same options as in the beginning, right? You can extend your legs down the mat, feet to the far corner edges, but if your back needs to keep the knees bent beyond the mat, you can do that as well. Right? Arms open up away from the body. Take up all the room around you, it's yours. And maybe the palms flip up towards the ceiling, if that feels okay in your body. Lengthen the back of the neck, tucking that chin towards the heart. And then if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes here. And letting go of the practice of all the work you've done. Shavasana
most important pose in the practice. So all the work you've done integrates in the body while you're resting here. But for some of us, this can be the most challenging pose. This will help the contract and release exercise. So you bring all your awareness into your left leg. You might curl the toes on that foot, but squeeze it all the way up to your hip. Tight, tight, tight. Good, and relax, release over to the right leg. Same thing, curl the toes on that foot. Squeeze it all the way up to the hip. Tight, tight, tight. And relax, release. And then squeeze your seat up underneath your hips. So you rise up here. And relax, release that. Good. Over to the left arm. You can make a fist with that hand and squeeze it all the way up to the shoulder. Tight, tight, tight. And relax, release. Over to the right arm, same thing. You can make a fist with that hand and squeeze it all the way up to the shoulder. And relax, release. And knife the shoulder blades underneath the view, causing the chest to rise up slightly. And relax, release. Broaden those shoulder blades back out. I'm going to draw the shoulders up towards the ears, creating tension in the neck and the shoulder area. And relax, release, good. And then squeeze up your face like you just smelled something bad. Good, relax, release. And then we're going to put that all together. So let's go back to those legs. Maybe curl the toes, squeeze it up to your hips, squeeze your seat. Make fists with those hands, draw the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze up the face again. And relax, release, let that go. Good job. Shake it off a little bit. We're going to go back to that left leg. And notice if you're maybe still holding on, engaging muscles there. Can you soften, let that go? The right leg, same thing. No need to work now. Your seat is soft. Let your belly go. Shoulders are relaxed down away from your ears. The left arm is heavy. The right arm is heavy. Muscles of your face are soft. Whole body is relaxed. I'm going to leave you in silence for about 2 minutes here. You have the opportunity to stay in relaxation a little while longer. You stay right where you are, you don't have to move. For those that plan to get up here, we bring some small movements back into the body again, wiggling fingers and toes. Turning those into the bigger movements, circling the wrists and the ankles. Changing the directions of your circles. And gently rocking your head side to side. Good. Think about what side of the body you'd like to roll onto. You bend up the knees first. Go ahead and roll onto that side, cradling your head and your arm. And then push your way up to your seat. Taking your time to get there.
I'd like to thank you for letting me lead you through this practice today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.